Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Yogesh? अच्छा अच्छा. Simran? Good morning. Simran? Akshay? Omkar? Are you able to listen?
Yes, sir.
अच्छा. Simran, what did we discuss yesterday? Who will tell me? Yogesh? Okay. Okay. So, is the PPT visible? Yesterday we discussed about the planning and budgeting aspects of an entrepreneur, and then we also have discussed various schemes of government. And today we'll be discussing few more schemes like market promotion and development assistance scheme. This is one of the scheme which was by KVIC, that is Khadi and Village Industry Commission, and it is being modified to market promotion and development scheme, which is unified scheme by merging different schemes as well as sub schemes of the 11th plan, namely market development assistance, publicity, marketing and market promotion, and adds a new component of infrastructure. So this scheme, market promotion and development assistance scheme, this is being helpful to the mostly rural population, and the scheme provides subsidy to the young people for starting their own enterprise. The earlier MDA scheme, that is Market Development Assistance Scheme, it had subsidy of 20% on production value of khadi, which was being distributed among different producing institutions 30%, selling institutions 45%, and artisans 25%. Now this modified MDA, Market Development Assistance Scheme, which is called as Market Promotion and Development Assistance Scheme, it has 30% of the prime cost, so that is more than earlier, and shall be distributed among the producing institutions 20%, selling institutions 40%, and artisans, that is those skilled people 40%. Also, the schemes provide assistance for visiting and exhibiting in trade fairs in the country as well as international level also. So that is one of the scheme, that is market promotion and development assistance. The next scheme, which is called as Spurti. Spurti, that the name of the scheme is Spurti, that the long form is Scheme of Fund for Regeneration of Traditional Industries. Those traditional industries which is being carried out in mostly the rural areas, you will see those traditional industries which prevail. So to protect these type of traditional industries and to enhance the growth of such type of traditional industries, this scheme, which is called as Purti, the scheme of fund for regeneration of traditional industries, being launched. So this Ministry of MSME, Ministry of Small and Medium Enterprise, has launched this scheme in the year 2005 with a view to promote cluster development. Cluster means a group of similar companies at a place. So that to promote the cluster development of such type of traditional industries, this scheme was launched. KVIC, that is Khadi and Village Industry Commission, is the nodal agency for promotion of this cluster development for Khadi as well as for village industry products. The main objectives of this Spurti scheme is to organize the traditional industries artisans into clusters so as to make them competitive and provide support for their long term sustainability and sustained employment. So mainly to organize this industry into different clusters and to enhance their competitiveness and to make them sustain as well as improve the employment in this type of sector. That is the first objective. Then to enhance marketability of products of such clusters. Then to equip traditional artisans of the associated clusters with the improved skills to make provision of common facilities and improved tools and equipments for artisans. So these schemes also provide shared spaces, common facilities which can be used by different artisans at a place, and there will be also programs so as to improve the skills of these artisans. One more objective of this scheme is to strengthen the cluster governance systems with the active participation of stakeholders, and to build innovative and traditional skills, improve technologies, advanced processes, market intelligence, and models of public-private partnership so as to gradually replicate similar models of cluster-based regenerated traditional industries. So to make these traditional industries survive, sustain, as well as to make these type of clusters grow into different regions. So this scheme Spurti is very important for protection of traditional industries. Then the role of Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE. So what role this Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship plays, and what are the different schemes under those under this Ministry of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, MSDE, that we are now going to discuss. First scheme or first program for skill development and entrepreneurship is PMKVY. PMKVY, that is the Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. So this scheme provides training and training to young people into different skills. The objective of this scheme is to encourage skill development of youth by providing monetary rewards for successful completion of approved training programs. So these trainees will receive monetary rewards for completion of this type of skill programs. Aim is to encourage standardization in the certification process and initiate a process of creating a registry of skills. So different skills being imparted to the young people, these people can then start their own business into those type of skills. The PMKVS scheme also enable and mobilize large number of Indian youth to take up skill training and become employable and earn their livelihood, increase productivity of the existing workforce, and align the training and certification to the needs of the country. So first of all, to enable the young people to develop their skills into different sectors and to make them employable so that they can take up their own business or they can work somewhere. So employability will increase. Also, these schemes will work on existing workforce so as to align the training and certification to those people. So as per the needs of that industry. This scheme provides monetary awards for skill certification to boost employability and productivity of youth by incentivizing them for skill trainings. So incentives are being provided in terms of monetary rewards, and once these young people complete this uh, program, they receive monetary rewards. So um the youth of the country, which are which can take up this type of skill trainings, they receive the training as well as monetary incentives, and then once they become developed in certain skills, they can take up jobs or they can start their own company or own small business. Then another scheme is Sankalp. Sankalp scheme means skill acquisition and knowledge awareness for livelihood. So that is the full form of Sankalp, skill acquisition and knowledge awareness for livelihood. The Sankalp is outcome oriented program of Ministry of Skills Development and Entrepreneurship MSDB with special focus on decentralized planning and quality improvement. It is a centrally sponsored scheme which is collaborated with the World Bank, and it aims to implement mandate of the National Skill Development Mission. Mandate means the requirement of National Skill Development Mission is NSDM. The main objectives of this Sankalpa scheme is first of all convergence. Convergence means bringing together. So creating convergence among all the skill training activities, both at state-led and government of India funded at the state level, bringing in quality, that is improving the quality of skill development programs through building a pool of quality trainers, developing model curriculum content, standardizing assessment and certification all over, and then evaluation systems, establishing a robust, that is strong monitoring and evaluation systems for skill training programs, inclusiveness and opportunity, including all the people or the individuals from all the segments, that is inclusiveness, providing access to skill training opportunities to all the people from all the segments, including the disadvantaged sections, weaker sections, then creating industry led and demand driven skill training capacities. So that is, those are the objectives of Sankalp. Going further, there is another scheme that is called as a STAR, the National Certification and Monetary Reward Scheme, which is known as STAR. The long form of the STAR is Standard Training Assessment and Reward. This STAR scheme is for encouraging skill development among the youth by providing monetary rewards for successful completion of approved training program. This is similar to that PMKY. So NSDC is the designated implementing agency uh, for this scheme and working through various sector councils, the different training providers and independent assessment agencies. So this is a STAR scheme wherein the youth are provided monetary rewards for acquiring certain skills and completing the particular training program. So those schemes till now we have discussed. Is there any query in whatever we have discussed till now? Different schemes of government for encouraging the entrepreneurship that we have discussed, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Now going ahead, we'll discuss about the different funding methods or different methods of building the capital. This crowdfunding we have discussed, but now little more details we'll be discussing about this crowdfunding and other methods of raising the capital. So first of all, this crowdfunding. So crowdfunding is based on internet platform, internet inspired means of raising money from mass market for a particular project or business. A continuous and growing series of virtual and online auction houses matching borrowers and lenders, investors and investees, and donors and donees. So that is a platform wherein the different lenders, investors, investees, they come together for investments. So who are all the parties which are involved or which are there in crowdfunding. There are three important parties which are there in crowdfunding. That is project campaigner, or we can call entrepreneur, website platformer, crowd or investor as to constitute the business or crowdfunding. The role of this website platform is to bring together all the parties jointly and meet together. So where these investors and entrepreneur, those both these parties are brought together by this website platformer, wherein the entrepreneur can raise the capital from mass market. So there are different models of crowdfunding. These crowdfunding models can be four types, that is equity based, reward based, lending based, and donation based. These equity based and lending based type of crowdfunding models are particularly with the objective of having a financial return. Equity based model of crowdfunding is based on having financial return, and it is a sale of registered security by mostly early stage firms to the investors. Another is lending based crowdfunding model for financial return, which is debt based transactions between individuals. Mostly unsecured personal loans are being borrowed. Third is reward based. So for non-monetary rewards, rewards, the donors have an expectations that recipients will provide a tangible but non-financial reward or product in exchange of their contribution. And then there are donation-based crowdfunding model for philanthropy or sponsorship. Here there is no legal binding financial obligation incurred to participant to donor. No financial or material returns are expected by the donor. It is donation-based crowdfunding model. Then moving towards another fundraising activity, that is venture capital. Venture capital is money provided by investors to startup firms and small businesses with perceived long-term growth potential. So the venture capitalists are these investors which can provide long-term investments for growth potential. The advantage of this type of venture capitalists is they can provide large sum of equity finance. They are able to bring wealth and expertise to your company. They are easier to secure funding from other sources. The business is not obligated to repay the money. So here the venture capitalist expects or they take up the ownership, part of ownership in the particular business by investing money into your business. So repayment of the money is not being expected. So that is one of the advantage. Also, this venture capitalist has other networks which can benefit the business. One of the disadvantages of this type of funding is that it is a lengthy as well as complex process. It needs detailed business plan, financial projections, etc. And in the deal negotiation stage, you'll have to pay for legal and accounting fees. And another disadvantage of this type of mm, venture capitalist is that investors become part of owners of your business. That is, founder or the entrepreneur lose the autonomy or the control on his business. So that is venture capitalist method of raising the fund. Another is the private equities. The private equities consist of investors and funds that make investment directly into the private companies. So they take up the shares in the company. So these shares are not being listed on stock exchange. The capital for private equity is raised from retail as well as institutional investors and they can be used for funding new technologies, expand working capital within an owned company, make acquisitions, or strengthen the balance sheet. So that is a private equity wherein the investors will buy the shares of a particular company, wherein these shares are not being listed on stock exchange. Then we'll come to financial mix, how the entrepreneur can think of or plan his financial mix, how he can have a mix of particular capital, what type of mix of fundraising activities he can have with a certain risk or benefits. So, financial structure or financial mix, that is a mix of debt and equity. Debt means type of a loan, and equity means a certain type of ownership is being shared with the investors. So there is a mix of debt as well as equity that a company uses to finance its operations. This composition directly affects the risk and value of the associated business. So there may be certain risks as well as advantages to the business. We'll see one by one. The financial or fundraising activities through using debt. So debt can be of many forms. Most of the entrepreneurs will take loan from a bank. So bank loan is a type of a debt. The advantage of is that ownership interest doesn't get diluted. So owner remains the same. Ownership is not being shared with anybody. Once that loan is being repaid, so owner can retain his ownership or the control on his all operations. The tax advantages are there. Having a loan, he can have advantages in tax to using debt to finance your business. And also the advantage is that it is a good way to add discipline to your management team. So management team will have discipline because there will be an obligation of repayment of bank loan. So that is because you will have to make sure you are managing the company in such a way that so as to have enough money available to pay your obligations. So you have that in mind to repay the bank loan, repayment of that money. So there will be discipline in your management team. The risk of using debt financing, there may be a risk, however. So if your business cannot meet your debt obligations, you risk bankruptcy and losing the capital you or your investors have injected into the company. So in case the obligations are not being fulfilled or repayments are not being made, so the business can become bankrupt and you will lose the capital as of your own as well as your investors. Then another method of raising the funds is being using that equity. So for entrepreneurs, equity usually takes form of owners investing in savings into the business. So investors who are investing their money into the business, they may be angel investors or venture capitalists who are investing money into your business. So some businesses might use attract private investors such as angel investors, venture capitalists, or private equity funds. So they are a type of having equity to raise the funds. The advantage of being is that you don't have to repay. So as these investors, angel investors, venture capitalists, or private equity funds, they invest money into your business. They are they have their ownership part in your business, and therefore you don't have to repay that investment or that money which is being invested. This makes equity financing a much safer choice than debt financing with respect to risk of bankruptcy. So here the risk of bankruptcy is being eliminated. You don't have to repay that money, and therefore it is much safer than other methods. Is it clear till now?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, another term which we have to understand, that is a cliff vesting. So we have to understand what is this cliff vesting method. So cliff vesting is when employee becomes fully vested on a specified date rather than becoming partially vested in increasing amounts over an extended period. Cliff vesting is one of the method or one of the type of providing bonus, or we can say retirement plans to the employees. This is one of the type of incentives you can say to the employees. So here the cliff means certain period of time which needs to be completed. So cliff means a certain period of time which is needed to be completed by that employee, and vesting means he becomes legally eligible uh, to receive that type of bonus or that money. So this type of method is there to boost the morale of the employee, motivate the employees, providing the incentives to the employees so that they can work hard towards achieving the goals of an organization. So cliff vesting is when employee becomes fully vested, means he becomes fully eligible on a specified date. So in cliff vesting method, what happens is this type of schemes, when employee signs or employee when take part in this type of schemes, so he becomes fully vested or eligible on a particular date to receive that type of monetary reward rather than becoming partially vested in increasing amounts over extended period. So instead of becoming partially vested or partially eligible in increasing amounts over an extended period, in cliff vesting what happens is the employee becomes fully eligible to receive that type of bonus or that type of amount on a particular date. Upon completion of this cliff period, the employee receives full benefits. So once the employee completes this cliff period, he becomes eligible to receive that type of monetary rewards or bonus. Understanding this cliff vesting in more details, cliff vesting is, it is a process where employees are entitled to full benefits from their firm's qualified retirement plans and pension policies on a given date. So this is a type of a pension plan retirement benefit uh, to the employees, where employees are entitled to full benefits from the firm's qualified plans pension policy on a particular date. In most of the cases, this type of plans is of 4 years. 4 year vesting schedule is there. 4 year vesting schedule plan with 1 year cliff. Vesting schedule means vesting is eligible. So after the 4 years, the employee become fully eligible with a cliff of 1 year. So that means minimum 1 year he has to work hard or he has to complete, then he will be eligible for that particular benefit. So upon completing of the cliff period, employee receives all the benefits. Are you getting the scheme? Cliff vesting.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, what are the different benefits this scheme has? For a startup company, you will see that cliff vesting provides a provision to offer vested benefits to its valuable employees. So, for the employees to provide vested benefits means some benefits for which they can be made eligible by working hard towards completing that particular period or completing that particular assignment. So, employees can be provided benefits with the help of this cliff vesting scheme. At the same time, the scheme allows time to vet staff Wait means to examine, to understand the staff before fully committing them into the system. So this scheme allows the organization or the entrepreneur to examine the staff, because there is a cliff period. Without completing that cliff period, that employee will not be eligible for those benefits, and therefore he has to complete that particular cliff period. And during this cliff period, the entrepreneur or the organization can examine the employees before committing them into that system. This scheme, you will see that it represents gestures showing that company is attaching value to its employees. So through this type of scheme, the company can show the value towards employees by giving them a token of profits which they have labored for, a substantial retirement benefit to start a new life, or a pension plan to shine a bright sun ray to old age. So that money can be helpful for those employees after their retirement. Such a scenario offers irrefutable value, that means undisputable value to both stakeholders, the company as well as the employee. So these type of benefits are of value to the employees as well as the stakeholders or the entrepreneur, because this scheme can provide benefits or the part of profits by the company as a bonus after completing that cliff period, or so whatever that completion of that period. So they become motivated, or they get motivated towards doing hard work. At the same time, this uh, scheme or this cliff vesting can help entrepreneur or the organization to show how the organization values its employees. Also it will help the company to motivate the staff or employees towards working hard. Is it okay? Are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
Going ahead, we will now discuss the pitch, that is preparing your investor presentation. The startup has to prepare this type of pitch deck. Pitch deck means it is a presentation present their company to prospective angel or venture capital investors. The startups has to prepare this type of pitch deck or presentation, we can say, so as to attract investments. The prospective angel or venture capitalist, they will seek to understand your business or your business models, how you get the how you are going to get the profit, or how you are doing the business, and what will be the growth in your business, what will be the potential in your business, so that they can invest in your business. So the pitch deck typically will have 15 to 20 slides in a PPT form, PowerPoint presentation, and it will be intended to showcase the company's products, technology, and team to the investors. So this pitch deck which you prepare, it is useful for convincing or attracting investments from the angel investors or venture capitalists or even banks. So they will seek to understand your business, your team, what will be the technology, the products, as well as your business model, and they will be interested in how your company or your products are going to have a growth in a market, so that they can invest their money in your business. So raising capital from investors is difficult and time consuming. So raising capital or getting money from investors or making those investors invest money in your business is very difficult. They will not invest money in your business until they are convinced that your business is having potential in the market and your business will have long term growth in the market. And therefore, it will be very crucial that your startup absolutely nails its investor pitch deck and articulates a compelling and interesting story. So this pitch deck need to be very, very strong. It need to be very, very interesting to those investors, maybe angel investors or venture capitalists. It should be uh, such a compelling and interesting that they can invest their money in your business. So elements of perfect investment pitch. How do we prepare a perfect investment pitch so that investors can get attracted towards your business or towards your product? So first of all, do convince the viewer of why the market opportunity is large. So first of all, you need to convince the investors that there is a large market opportunity for that type of particular business. Do include visually interesting graphics and images. So include different graphics, images in your presentation so that it becomes interesting. Only having text in a PowerPoint format may not be more interesting. However, if you include the pictures, graphics, so that can make the investors take interest in your presentation, what you are presenting. Do send the pitch deck in a PDF format. So before you present, you send the PDF format to the prospective investors in advance. Don't force the investors to get it from the Google Doc, Dropbox, or some other online services, as you are just putting a barrier to the investors actually reading it. So provide the pitch deck or your presentation in advance to the investors. Going further, do plan to have a demo of your product as a part of the in-person presentation. So while you are presenting your business plan or your pitch deck, so you can also have a demonstration of your product. If you have a particular physical product, so you can have a demonstration of that product so that they can actually feel the product, they can see how the product works. So you can bring that or have a particular model of that particular product and have a demonstration of that product during the presentation. Then do tell a compelling, memorable, and interesting story that shows your passion for the business. So tell a story how you have given a thought for having such type of product as well as this type of business, how it is going to be helpful or how much potential it is and how it's going to benefit the society. You tell them the um, particular story of how you have got this type of idea and how that idea is the best. Do so that you have more than just an idea, that you have gotten early traction on developing the product, getting customers, or signing up partners. Attraction means the particular business growth or momentum of particular business growth in a market, you can say. So you show that it is not just an idea, you have got early traction. So you have got early momentum for your business, you have got much potential before you actually start the business, and the customers are getting interested and you have signed up different partners. Do have a sound bite for investors to remember you by. So sound bite is type of form of information which you can particularly talk about in your presentation, which can demonstrate the certain characteristic of your product or your business, which can be remembered by the investors. For example, you can talk about certain quality that you are quality conscious and you will be maintaining quality throughout the particular business. So that can be a sound bite, a particular piece of information during the presentation which you can talk about, which can be remembered by the investors. Then do use a consistent font size, color and header style throughout the slide. So while making that particular PPT, you should be sit with that presentation is visible and readable by the investors. Then the key slides, what need to be the key slides in that particular PowerPoint presentation of your pitch deck. The different slides, as we discussed, there will be 15 to 20 slides of your pitch deck. So very important and to the point specific information which can be put into your PPT presentation, which you can start with your company overview. So you can give overview of your company, how it is established, when it is being established, the location, board of directors, different information related to that company. Then mission, vision of the company. Then the team who is working in that company. Then the problem. So what was the social or problem which is which is being faced by the masses which you have targeted to solve? So that problem you need to discuss. What is the problem? What solution you have developed? How you have developed that particular solution to that particular problem? And then the market opportunity. What is the market opportunity to this type of solution or this type of product or service in the market? How potential it is, and how it can generate growth for a longer period, that you can discuss. Then going further in the other slides, you can discuss about the product. What is the actual product? What are the different features, benefits, the price, and all about the product. Then the customers. Who will be the customers? Who are the customer segments which you are planning to target? Then the technology. What technology you will be using to for that particular product. The competition. How is the competition for that particular product? Who are the major competitors in the market? What are the different strategies being implemented by those competitors, and how you are going to cope up in the market? Then the traction, that is how you will grow in the market, how you are going to get the momentum in the market. Then the business model, what type of business model you are operating, how you are going to generate the profit out of this business, what is your revenue model or profit model, that you have to discuss. Then the marketing plan, how you are going to market this product into the market, what will be your marketing strategies for making the customers interested in your product. Then different financials part of your business or your product. And the last part is the ask. The ask means the amount of investment which you are expecting for this particular business. How much amount of investment which you are planning, what is the justification for that amount, how you are going to use that amount for the business. So all that will come under the ask slide, isn't it? So that is the type of investor pitch deck which you have to prepare for your investors, so as to make them interested in your business to invest their money. And this pitch deck need to be so strong that the investors can become interested in your, they can get convinced that your business has long-term potential in the market, and they ultimately invest money in your business. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Acha. Any query in whatever we have discussed today?
Sir, traction म्हणजे काय एकदा परत सांगा सर.
Traction means the growth prospect, or you can say momentum. how you are going to get continuous flow of customers or revenue for your particular business. That is traction. How you are going to pull or attract the revenue for your business. That is your traction, isn't
Yes,
it?
sir. Got it, sir.
So before we close, let me tell you people that today is the last date for registering that program of Vivek Chetna. Have you all registered for that program?
Yes, sir.
So what to do is,
Yes, sir.
if you have not registered to that program, register it today. Just after this session, immediately you sign in and register to that particular program. This program will have 4 lectures, one lecture in 1 month of 1 hour. So only one session will be there in a month: August, September, October, November, and it will be free of cost. This program will be beneficial to all MBA students, and therefore we are expecting that all students can register to this program. This link is provided in your WhatsApp group. Yesterday also I have put the link of this program. So once you fill up that form, the last question is, which is your nearest center. There you can mention Chinchwad, and after you register to this particular link, you will get a link of particular WhatsApp group that you can join, so that you can get information about the program. Okay. So just after this session, what you do is, you immediately go to the link. If you are not registered, you register on that link. It will take maximum 2 to 3 minutes. Just go to that link and register yourself for that program. Okay.
Yes.
So what we'll do is, we'll close here for today. Okay.
येस सर.
Okay.
सर याचा
Okay.
एक ई बुक असेल तर सर ग्रुपवर पाठवून द्यायला सांग मागच्या वेळेस सर.
हाँ हाँ.
पवन सरांनी मागच्या वेळेस ई बुक टाकले होते ना प्रत्येक सब्जेक्टचे.
चलेगा. I will see. Maybe next week or before your examinations, I will see to it that I will give you such type of e-books. I will find it out and give you. Don't worry.
येस सर. थँक्यू सर.
चलेगा. Okay. Thank you. Bye.